Good evening and welcome to Lodi the World, where I talk with local leaders and influential individuals in the Lodi Valley about how we do things here and how it reflects on the world at large. Tonight I have Melissa Card, who is the current president of the Lodi and Lake Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to talk a little bit about what is a Chamber of Commerce, what is the purpose, and how do we compare to other places. So first of all, how long you been in this position?
As president,
Yeah.
less than a year, 6
Okay.
months.
And you've been on the board before that?
Yes.
How long?
The terms are 3-year terms.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was on the board almost 2 years prior.
Okay. And were you just a member before that?
Associated Bank, where I work,
Okay.
is a member
Okay.
of the Chamber of Commerce.
So you were involved in some way
Yes.
before that?
I was an active. I believe in volunteering and giving back. So I was volunteering in the events, and I thought I want to be part of it.
All right. First of all, what is a Chamber of Commerce? And then what does a Chamber of Commerce do?
Yeah. Good
Let's
question.
start easy.
Yeah. It's really all about the business community and how we can represent and grow and support our business community, which I really want for Lodi. I'm very passionate about Lodi. I have been here, and I think there's no place like Lodi in terms of the community that we have and supporting each other. The cool thing about Lodi is you know the business owners, you know their story,
Yeah.
and you're very loyal to them. Whereas you go to another community and I don't know that. So you want the best for the people that you know.
What is the purpose of a Chamber of Commerce? I mean, just simple down and dirty, what do you do?
Support business.
Okay. How do you do that?
It's a great question. There are so many ways to do that, and I feel like we're exploring what's the best way.
Okay.
In terms of, I'm very open to what is the best way, what can we do better or differently, or what aren't we doing that would make sense. I think the best way is to hear from your current members and hear why they are part of it, or what is the draw, right? Why are they part of it? What is missing? I think that's really important. So spending a lot of time with members, talking to members, listening is really how I have learned. But I feel like it's ever evolving. I have learned so much in 6 months that I don't even know that I have a straight answer for you. And there's a whole board. Like I am one right now of 7 people that sit on a board, and everybody should be heard and have an equal voice.
But as I said in my email to you to get you to come here, you're the face. You are, as president, you are currently the face of the Chamber of Commerce, and people are going to look to you.
I see it differently.
Okay.
I think just because you have somebody who has the role of president, I see my role as making sure everybody feels heard and that everybody is doing something to better our mission, which is business. So although I may have the role of president, I don't feel like I am the one who's making decisions.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that when the community or business people look at the chamber, they're going to look to you for the first response.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, that you are the face of the chamber. It had been up until a little while ago. You have it's called a director.
Yes, we have an executive director.
Executive director, and she left to go on to do other things. So currently, that's an empty position.
Well, we have an interim director.
You do?
Yes. So one of our board members, Heidi LeHue,
Oh, okay.
stepped back as a board member, and she is our interim director, which I could not be more thrilled about.
Okay, now that is news. Now, if you don't know who Heidi is, she's got the Little Winnebago pop-up store.
Yes.
And she was the one behind organizing and I'll say, running the Spring Street Market at Lodi Days.
That was her brainchild.
That was her brainchild, and she took the reins on that. So she is very involved.
Very involved.
And has good ideas, and is, someone that can work with the community.
And our social media is booming. We have record numbers. Our engagement is so fun to see. Every time she shows me something, the numbers are just hard to believe, right? They're incredible. She's doing an excellent job, and people want to be part of it. So she is a great person to be in this seat right now.
Great.
Yeah.
I will have to get those social media accounts, and I'll post them after the video when we post it on the Chronicle. So that, again, I guess, changes my approach a little bit. Because I hadn't known about Heidi stepping into that position. That now, is she going to be stepping out and being more, so I want to say vocal, or more out there as to say, I'm the one to come to?
Yes, I think she really is.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, Barbecue is Saturday, so anybody who wants to come Saturday, come down to Main Street. I'm excited for that. So it's a very busy week for the chamber.
Yep.
But you will definitely see and hear more of Heidi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they want to get a hold of her, you've got the little office down on Main Street.
We do.
When is it open?
Good question. 9 to 3. It's 25 hours a week total that it's open during the week.
All right.
Yeah.
So you know where to go. And it's Lodi Lake Wisconsin.org.
I believe so. Yeah.
Hey, we'll look that up.
Yeah. Link it. Yeah.
The things we should know.
I know. Yeah.
No. All right. So that's what a Chamber of Commerce does, and what we're doing here. I have, in my experience overseas, I have dealt with some very different chambers of commerce. So I dealt with the American Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai and the Australian Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai, and they were dealing with how do you promote a specific type of business within this market. Okay. Now, Lodi and Lake Wisconsin, you're promoting pretty much every business that we have within the market.
We want people to come. So we're really promoting who we are, right? In terms of Lodi, Lake Wisconsin as a destination. And truly, when you come, I think that's when you come to a community, $1 is exchanged 7 or 8 times. So you think, right, you come to Lodi and you stop at Buttercream and you grab a cup of coffee. And then you go across the street to Casa Luna, or you go to Spring Creek and you have lunch. And then you stop at Quick Trip and you get gas. And then you realize, I see a farm stand. So you stop at Buck's Farm Stand. You think of how many different times that you stop. And then Main Street Market, throughout our strip. And then Coltis before you leave town. So the one draw that might have brought somebody to Lodi is really going to benefit everybody. And then they go out to the lake. There's so much to do. So it's truly bringing the entirety of Lodi, getting people just to come here, so then they will spend, and then they will want to come back.
Okay, this brings up a point that I have heard, and we have discussed occasionally, that the chamber is not about events, which I know some people are going to find odd to say that. Events are a way to introduce us, but you're looking at $1 cup of coffee, a $5 meal, a sort of, I want to buy a little something here, a little something there. How do events lead to a returning customer base? Because that's what you're looking for, right?
We're looking to bring people to Lodi. Yeah, returning customers, absolutely. So events are a mixed bag, right? It's a revenue source for us. Ultimately, we need money to operate, and events generate revenue.
Yeah.
Events are a lot of work, so it's also cost benefit, right? In terms of Susie was literally hundreds of hours. And then I look at it, you look at the income, and is that something that, and we did a great job as the city pulling together. There was a full weekend itinerary, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
That was something new this year, wasn't it?
which was awesome. And that's really how it should be, right? It should be
Yeah.
everybody gets to collaborate and showcase. To me, that is what an event weekend should be. It should be an itinerary of a weekend. Barbecue is thought of as one event, but now we have the fire department breakfast in the morning, and Lucky's
That's right.
is doing. They're going to be the official after party after barbecue.
Oh, okay.
So I think the more that everybody can collaborate in on an idea or a weekend, to me, that is where we find success, rather than the chamber is hosting the following events and there's an expectation of the chamber, who is a volunteer board and has full-time jobs, right? In terms of, because I think there's a lot of burn and churn in board member roles.
So that's something to bring up, that you all do this as volunteers.
Because we love Lodi and Lake Wisconsin, and we want it to be successful. We absolutely raise our hand to be in the seat and choose it for 3-year terms.
Now, you do a number of events throughout the year. Maybe 3 or 4 that I can think of. So you got Susie Day, you've got barbecue, the wine walk. Is there anything else? Is there a Cocoa Crawl this year?
Good question. Christmas lights parade, Cocoa Crawl. And that's part of the hearing from businesses. I am listening to a lot of businesses, and I'm not hearing feedback of it's a benefit that
Okay.
an event that benefits me. So that's why I take a pause, and I don't know what's the best answer right now, because I want it to be something where our members see value in the event.
Those 3 events, at least, are downtown Lodi. What about Lake Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Absolutely.
I mean, those are Lodi focused. You know, Lodi and Lake Wisconsin used to be separate chambers, and way back when they joined, is there? How do we move back and forth, or is it that if people come to downtown Lodi, they're going to go to the lake, or people are going to the lake, let's also bring them here? Or
yeah, it's a good discussion. It's something to be aware of, to be mindful of. We're lucky that we have a board member who is based on the lake, so it's great to have that viewpoint, right? In terms of how is this going to benefit Lake Wisconsin? So the more we can have diversity on the board, the better. So it isn't a bunch of people from the 100 block of Main Street that all have the view of this is how it should be. I think we need to benefit everybody. And I think just bringing people to Lodi, then you hear about, oh, we have all this beautiful nature too.
we do.
There's so much to come. And I think once you explore and you come here, you realize you're going to come back because there's so many other things that you didn't have a chance to do.
What's your dream?
My dream is for every storefront to be filled and have hours where people can come and they know shops are open, doors open, like a cute little, a picture just, and we do have a cute downtown. We have the flags, which are beautiful. We have plants, but having it thriving, having it vibrant and thriving, and not just the 100 block, like extending right all the way out as much as we can to the lake, and having shops, having it be a destination where people want to come and spend a day or a weekend.
I have to bring up the elephant in the room. We've got empty storefronts on Main Street.
We do.
And how do we deal with that? What can we do? Is that a chamber thing? Is that a city thing? Is that a county thing? I mean, how do we coordinate and bring somebody in that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start up a business. I can't remember if it was you that had mentioned this or someone else about bringing in groups of businesses. Like Willow Tree Wellness is not a business. It is 4 or 5 separate businesses sharing a space. What are the incentives? And not just downtown Lodi, but elsewhere as we go out Main Street, as we get into Harmony Grove and Oakey.
Right.
What incentives do we have, or what incentives would you like to have?
Well, right now there's the Main Street Bounce Back grants, and we've helped so far 3, 2 of which are not members because it requires a letter from the chamber, and you can have $10,000 for an empty storefront. So it's an excellent opportunity. If anybody's considering it, now is the time, because there is money on the table, and it's something that we are sending out in our chamber newsletter. I am pushing that every week. I think it's something that's an incredible opportunity, and we have people that are taking advantage of it.
And that's something that I need to get in touch with the proper people about to write about, because that has been on my radar for a couple of weeks now. You've been talking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what else?
So that's a start, right? In terms of, you need the money, but you also need the people. And the mayor is fabulous. She's very collaborative. I meet with her bi-weekly, although it feels like weekly. We have a lot to talk about, but that's a great thing, that we get to have collaborative conversations, and we are very open about, this is what I'm hearing, what are you hearing? We are talking about spaces that are open or might be coming open. We're having very collaborative conversations about what can we do? How can we change the situation?
Right.
So I feel like we're in a really good place, although there's always more you can do.
Any secrets you can share on how we're looking at doing this?
I don't know that there's secrets. It's really just being honest and having really open dialogue and trusting the people that you're with.
Is there anything in the works that you can talk about that between the city and the chamber, or the towns and the chamber? And one of the things that I think people tend to forget, the Lodi Valley Chronicle, when I started it, I wanted to go, okay, Lodi is more than Main Street.
Right.
So we talk about West Point, and the Trinan Farm is a big business in town.
Destination. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And Oakey and Harmony Grove, and Dane is part of the Lodi Valley, and the village and the town of Dane. We're looking at a lot of different areas.
We are.
I mean, West Point and Harmony Grove and Dane and Lodi are very different. So you're not dealing with Dane, but is West Point part of that?
Well, yeah. And this is what's hard, right? The chamber position is part-time as it stands today. So we all very valid. This is all kind of untapped. We haven't even honestly have these kind of strategic discussions, but it's really important to have these. So it's good to think about and get it on the radar. But you're right. It is, how do you benefit all and take into consideration the landscape that is very diverse? Great question.
And I guess, a lot of people, Lodi is always a nebulous term. To a lot of people, it's the city. I live in the city. It's the city.
Yeah.
And other people go, I live out in the lake. I feel like I'm in Lodi. I'm in the Grove, but I'm in the Lodi School District. So it's kind of, how do we approach things, and how is the chamber approaching things? I guess the other question I would ask, so what are your dreams, is to go the other way. What are the obstacles? Or I should say, what are the challenges? Let me put
Yeah.
it that way. What are the challenges?
It's draining. It's I have a hard time shutting off some of the negativity that is fed my way.
Okay.
That's my personality.
Now, before we continue, is that negativity coming from the business owners or from the community or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's okay. I appreciate feedback so much. I think that feedback is how you learn and grow. Feedback is how you don't learn in your best times. You learn on when
Yeah.
times are hard. That
Yeah.
is when you reflect and you persevere and you think, I'm going to be different and better. So I definitely do my absolute best to embrace the feedback. But I will tell you, when the feedback is hard to receive, then it's hard to digest. And some weeks feel really hard with the feedback. And I have a hard time shutting that off and then giving my best to my family and to my job that pays my bills.
Yeah.
So for me, the most challenging part is that. I think that's what can consume me.
Okay. From a chamber perspective, not a personal perspective, from a
Mhm.
chamber perspective, what are the chamber's challenges going forward?
We have a lot. Right now it's very gray. We are in rebuild mode. We're trying to figure out how do we move forward in a way that serves our members and that is the best use of our board resources and an executive director's time. I think that this is a great time to reevaluate all of that. So the flip of the coin is you have the world, right? You can make all of the choices and you can kind of rebuild and move forward. And then it's also, you have the world because it's overwhelming and there's a lot to do. So we're in strategy, right? We need to have a strategy, and it's very exciting because I feel like there is a definite ripple that is building and our momentum that we've been working so hard for is coming. So I don't know if that's a great answer.
I'd like to narrow it down a little
Yeah,
bit.
sure.
Can you point out a couple of sort of specific but general challenges going forward? Like, how do we get people into business spaces?
Yep,
Or
storefronts for sure.
how do we get the storefronts going? What do you think are the things that you need to sort of focus on to move your ideals forward?
I would say, first and foremost, we have an obligation financially to keep the chamber afloat, and it's figuring out what is the best way to do that. I was surprised to learn that we have the lowest dues in the state of Wisconsin for a chamber. So we have this dues, and then how are we giving back to our members, right? If we're going to be asking for dues to be different, do our members feel a value? And what do we need to do? What do we need to think about in terms of what we are bringing to our members? I would say that my biggest thing right now is finances.
Okay.
And when we are thinking about hiring somebody full term, we have Heidi right now. Events, COVID. So we have wine walk and shop. I'm taking that application to the city. How will that be received, right? Every year we've sold out our 200 tickets instantly, day of. And how will that be this year if it's an indoor thing? It's in November. So financially, when we can't do events, or we don't know what events are going to look like, I should say, we don't know. That's hard for me in terms of how financially, how do I carry the finance chart? And not myself.
Right. Yeah. How does the board and the
Yes,
chamber?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's hard for me. And then events are a lot of work. So also the pivot with unknown, right? In terms of what that is. And then I think that we have got to really be prominent giving to our members in terms of having events that are member only events. Heidi is working right now on a lot of things. I think that are really exciting and our members will see benefits. I think that events take so much time and energy that we're not just doing kind of routine touches.
So what would member-only events look like? Because I think that most of the community sees events as Susie Days and barbecue and the big whole city kind of thing. Even Wine Walk ends up being, it's primarily member only, but it spills over into the whole downtown.
Absolutely, yeah.
What would a member-only event look like?
Lunch and learns. So you can come and learn about how to do this, right? You could host a lunch and learn of this is how you do a live stream and what the benefits are, why you should consider doing it. We have had Dennis, who's on our board, talk about his business financials. I mean, that's something that I think we can all do better. Maybe I'm biased with this working in a bank. We can have, so it's members bringing, or it's really something that will benefit the business community, that will benefit members.
Okay.
It's a learning session or a networking, like you get to
all right.
network.
I misunderstood what you were saying then. So what you're talking about is events only for the members to participate in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was thinking events that were open to the public, but only members were
Good clarification.
presenting.
We spend so much time
Yeah.
on, they require so much energy, these main events that we do, that then we miss doing what to me feels like the big things, which are giving to our members.
Right.
So it's an opportunity. That's something I feel like we really need to give to our members.
Right. How does Lodi stack up against other communities? I mean, that's one of the things I'm trying to do with this live stream now is Lodi and the world. How we all kind of know Lodi. We kind of think we know what's going on. How do we stack up against communities in the area and communities across the US and maybe communities across the world? Is what we're doing comparable to what, say, Chicago does, just on a smaller scale, or is it very different?
In terms of the chamber?
In terms of the chamber.
Yeah. I think the chamber roots are really all the same. No matter, I've spent a lot of time looking at other chambers. Not so much talking, we're just starting to have conversations. Heidi had a great conversation today with another chamber. So you can always learn, right, and grow and be better. We have a lot to learn, but I think the roots, the foundation is there. It's just what are we watering in terms of the roots? What are we paying attention to?
Interesting way of putting it. Okay, yeah.
And there's an opportunity, like we have this community event planned that is blossomed, right? It's huge. And that's kind of the expectation of the chamber. But we have other things that are not getting as much attention that we have opportunities with.
So before we've got a good half hour here. So before we finish up, how do people join the chamber? How do people learn about the chamber? And how do people, if they're not members, don't own a business, how can they get involved?
Great question. So you can, if you just Google Lodi Lake Wisconsin Chamber, you can find our website. It is newly redone, so we are excited for our new site. That's an excellent way.
Ooh, I haven't seen it since the upgrade. All right,
Okay.
I'll have to look.
We are very active on Facebook. You will find Heidi's beautiful posts. So you can find our barbecue event. You can find the Lodi Lake Wisconsin Chamber page. Heidi does an excellent job refreshing content on that often. We also have Shop Local. That's something that I think is fantastic that anybody can share too. So if you have something that you want to share, sign up for the Chronicle and you share there. Everybody, it's just kind of a collaborative space that everybody can share. So that gets neat content too.
That's on Facebook?
That is.
Okay.
That's nice to see. Yeah, Facebook is really the social platform that we're using right now. Yeah. And then we have Heidi will be sitting in there. We'll be in our space sitting on Main Street.
So I'm a business.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Say I'm not a business. I'm doing this as a hobby. If I were a business and I said, maybe I want to join the chamber, I go down and talk to Heidi.
Go online. You can sign up
Go,
right online.
okay.
Yeah, very easy.
Okay.
Load up all your stuff.
I'm a member of the community. I don't own a business. I like what you're doing. How do I get involved?
It takes a village to pull off an event. So if you are thinking, I'd love to get involved, we would love to have you helping out Saturday at Barbecue. All of our events require so many people, and it feels like we are literally always asking and tapping our friends and family, asking them to help. So anybody who, and it's just if you can give 2 hours, it makes such a difference to us in terms of the event really running smoothly.
And here's where I'm gonna. I said I'm stirring the pot for a good cause. Last week, I put out a challenge that anybody that volunteers for BBQ for at least 2 hours, and you've got to let them know that you're coming because I said so, and you've got to be there for 2 hours, I will donate $10 in the $10 bag from Piggly Wiggly to Reach Out Lodi. Okay, costs you nothing. You get out there, you get to help out the community.
And it's fun.
And it's fun, and you will be helping out people that really need it.
Yeah.
And I'm putting up money I really don't have. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm saying put your hands where your mouth is, both eating the ribs that are going to be there and drinking the beer that's going to be there, but helping out the chamber and helping out Lodi. So
Thank you.
Yeah, every little bit that people do. So anybody else wants to do something like that for any events, I'm sure that would be welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You know.
And that's the great thing about Lodi, right? Reach Out Lodi,
Yeah.
Main Street Market. And you just touched how many places by making that one offer. That's what makes Lodi the best place in the world. Truly.
So that's all for tonight. I do have a slate of new people coming. One of them is one of your new board members, Brittany Dempsey. I knew the D, I couldn't remember the rest. Brittany Dempsey is coming in October. I am in talks with Mike Clark from the Lodi Sausage Company. I keep wanting to call him Larry, to come in, but he is a busy man. He is very willing to come in and talk to us. And I will be reaching out to more and more people within the Lodi community to come in. So thank you for watching, either live or later. Now you're going to see a little thing over there, over her, little circle. That is to click and subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, you get notifications letting you know that we are online. It's going to be pretty much, hopefully, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Here, you're going to see a little video that's an intro to Lodi in the World to let you know what this is all about. Thank you very much. Thank you, Melissa, for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again later. Thanks.